DJI isn't just a drone company anymore. They're making bike motors and robot vacuums. Their roadmap across drones, cameras, and entirely new categories is moving very quickly. And I thought that it was time for us to jump in. I've done a lot of videos here on the channel talking about DJI and the products that they've announced, are announcing. I've reviewed their products. I use a lot of their products. But I feel like just in the last few months, we've had so many things move from rumor to announcement to release to new things being added to things that we thought we were gonna get. And so I found myself just like writing all this down and building charts. And I thought, well, this just needs to be a video. And in doing that, in putting all that together, it became pretty clear that there's a big shift at DJI. They want to be more like Sony or Xiaomi. One ecosystem across multiple categories, not just drones, not just action cameras, right? Their diversification is no longer theoretical. The company has stepped into mobility with the Amflow e-bike motor system and the smart home with the Romo robot vacuum. These are deliberate bets that mirror strategies from multi-category giants. Build an ecosystem, cross-pollinate the technology, keep customers inside your universe for everything from imaging to home devices to mobility. The point is less about a single product and more about a trajectory. DJI is building across categories so that its hardware, software, and accessories can all interconnect. So if you've ever wondered whether DJI would stick to drones and handheld cameras, these moves are the clear answer. They're widening the lens. So next up, let's ground ourselves in what's officially out right now and do a quick status check on what's already in the market. So to start, let's talk about the Mic 3. It just came out. It is considerably smaller than the Mic 2. It's about the size of the Mini, but it has internal recording, 32-bit float, and importantly, it's compatible with a lot of their other devices. So the Neo, the Action 5 Pro, it's a fully integrated ecosystem play, competing with companies like Rode and Hollyland. Next, the Osmo 360, which we just got. Dual 1/1.1 inch sensors, 8K 50 recording, 4K 120, great battery life, and a $500 to $600 price point. It's competing with the Insta360 X5. And while it definitely had a bit of a rocky start, firmware updates are bringing a lot of that under control. Next, the Mavic 4 Pro, a triple lens drone with a micro four thirds 100 megapixel sensor that also has, a 70 and a 168 millimeter lens as well, with dual native ISO and dynamic range measuring between 15 and 17 stops. It runs the O4 Plus communications model and it can fly for over 40 minutes. And next are our two FPV drones. We've got the Avata 2, which made the Avata line lighter, less crash resistant, or I guess less crash prone, more crash resistant, brought a wider field of view, improved goggles and controller, and while still a true FPV drone, is considerably easier for beginners. But really easy for beginners is the Neo, which is a teeny tiny, very inexpensive drone built in an FPV style and compatible with controllers and headsets. And then you have the Flip, which is just a drone that folds into your hand and you can put it in your pocket. It's safer, easier to fly, cheaper than the Avata. And while it has a small sensor, it has great stabilization. So it's aimed at folks who are just getting into drones or FPV in general. Then you have the Air 3S, which brought 1-inch sensor to the Air line, runs that O4 transmission standard, and positions itself as the sweet spot between the Mini 4 Pro and the Mavic 4. So that's the baseline. That's where we are right now. Refreshed mid-range drone, a pro flagship drone, FPV, creator audio, and more. It's been a busy few months. It's been a busy year. But what's on the horizon? So we got two products that are positioned as imminent, meaning we're gonna get them any minute now. First is the Mini 5 Pro, bringing a 1-inch sensor to the Mini lineup. Additionally, and I think this is somewhat a headline feature, bringing O4 Plus to the Mini lineup, meaning that it will be compatible with all of the controllers and accessories that you get with the Mavic 4 Pro, as well as all the other O4 systems. Just keep thinking ecosystem. And while it is a sub 249 gram drone with a 34-minute battery, it has a 52-minute battery option that they're calling Plus. And that 1-inch sensor is also going to be delivering 20 megapixels, 4K 120, and 10-bit D-Log-M. And on the camera side of things, we're expecting the Osmo Nano, again, any minute now. And this is going to be a tiny modular camera similar to the GoPro 4K and specifically the Insta360 Ultra. Although I get the feeling like this one from DJI is going to come in at a much lower price, but it will have a smaller sensor, 1/1.3 inch, and still do 4K 60. We should expect a lot of news around magnetic, wearable, strappable, snappable things. Now, the next set of products that we're going to talk about are a little further off, although some of them, who knows, they might announce some of them tomorrow. But as far as what we can see out there in the rumor sphere, in the leakiverse, I'm going to try to lay these out in the order that I think they're most potentially expected. And I'm going to start with the Action 6. We've seen some potential box designs for this and potential product release photos. Interestingly, the 6 doesn't seem to hold the Pro moniker that we get in the 5. I don't know if that's marketing and maybe there's going to be something missing from the 6 and that the 5 Pro will still have certain areas where it'll be better, kind of like how like the Air 2 was better than the Air 2S in some instances. So we don't really know anything. An obvious potential direction they could go with it is to take the 1/1.1 inch sensors that we have in the Osmo 360, which are square sensors, not 4.3 or 2.3, and do something similar to like what GoPro does with their 8.7 sensor and allow you to reframe on the go and do kind of like an open gate 5.6 whatever K shoot. Maybe we get 8K or 5.7K in a square, and then you can get 4K 120 or 4K 240 in a 16:9 or 9:16, right? The Action 5 Pro was announced in September of last year. So we should be expecting this thing kind of any day, but we just haven't seen a lot in the way of leaks that we traditionally see for a product like this. Obviously, we'd expect a standard combo and an adventure combo somewhere between $350 and $500. We have seen some rumored specifications that indicate 8K at 30 and 5.7K at 60, so that's also potential. But we know that this thing exists because honestly it's already gone through FCC approval, and we know that they're traditionally launched towards the end or latter half of the third, early fourth quarter. The next product that I want to talk about as we get further into the fog of rumor is the Air 4. So we have the Air 3S. When it was announced, we anticipated an Air 4, and then it ended up being an Air 3S, and it was okay. People really seem to like it. With an Air 4, what it looks like we're seeing is a very much redesigned shell or casing, more like the Mavic 4. And if you think about this in terms of what we're getting from the Mini 5, where we're expecting vertical shooting, a lot of angles, degrees of field of view and movement seem to be very, very important in some of these products. I think we'll definitely get some technology borrowed from the Mavic 4 into the Air 4 in order for it to do more movement when it comes to the gimbal itself. Otherwise, I don't know. We've seen some pictures. I've also heard that it might be switching to a triple camera system, which, to be quite honest, as much as I think sounds crazy, might just be the direction that all of technology is going. You just add cameras up the line. The Mavic 4 has 3, the Air 3S has 2, the Mini has 1. Next year we'll get a Mavic 4 with 5 cameras and a Air 4S with 3 cameras and a Mini 6 Pro with 2.5 cameras. I don't know. That seems to be the direction that everybody's going. Additionally, LiDAR on everything. Just LiDAR, wall-to-wall LiDAR. Then we move to the Pocket 4, which we are expecting to see a second telephoto lens on. So you get a wide and maybe a mid telephoto. Potentially borrowing some of the color science from Hasselblad, or maybe that second camera ends up being an ultra wide and this becomes like the super logger camera. Timeline on this one is a totally moving target. I've heard 3 weeks. I've heard 6 months. I've heard 2027. No one seems to know when this thing is coming. But it's coming. It exists. There are prototypes. People have taken pictures of it. Next is an update to the Neo 2, with updates making it more stable, likely compatible with more accessories, and most importantly, I think, improving its camera system, as well as potentially lengthening the flight time. But it would continue to be an entry-level bridge for new users into drones and specifically into FPV before someone maybe upgrades to the Avata. Which brings me to the Avata 3. I get a lot of people that ask in the comments, any news about the Avata 3? It's part of the reason why I wanted to make this video. I have heard nothing, zero, about an update to the Avata. Nothing. I've heard more about a full frame mirrorless camera from DJI, which is the last product that we're going to talk about, than I have about the Avata 3. But the full frame mirrorless camera is another product that I've heard about as, yep, we're going to get it in 2 weeks. It's coming in 2 weeks. All the way to maybe sometime next year, or no, that rumor's fake. That's why it's at the end. That's why it's at the bottom of the list, because I just don't know. But I will say it makes a lot of sense if they did this. take either a Sony sensor or the sensor that they have in the Ronin, which is 44 megapixels, get that Hasselblad color science going, all of their AI systems that they have for LiDAR, low light, focusing, put it all together, put it in a body, potentially put it in the L-mount alliance. You got a full ecosystem of lenses available from 3 different manufacturers right away. Honestly, that would be a monumental explosion in the mirrorless camera market if that happened. So to recap, we got the Mic 3, we got the Osmo 360, we got the Mavic 4 Pro, we got the Air 3S, we got the Avata 2, we got the Neo, we got the Flip, we got the Action 5 Pro, we got the Mic 3, the Mini 5 Pro, and the Osmo Nano should be any minute now. The Pocket 4, the Action 6, the Air 4, the Neo 2, the Avata 3, and the potential for a full frame camera, question mark. I take that back. The Action 6 we're probably gonna see here in the next couple of months. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't heard more about it. But the thing to note here is that DJI is putting OcuSync 4 Plus across the whole ecosystem, so everything is talking to each other. I think they're gonna keep that compatibility along with the mic integration in just about everything. That's a lock-in strategy similar to what you get with Apple. These guys know what they're doing, and they're diversifying. So when you think, no, they would never do that, they make a vacuum cleaner. They make a vacuum. They make an e-bike, like an e-mountain bike that blows away many of the other I own an e-mountain bike. I have a Canyon Torque on CF8. It's a good bike. This thing blows my bike away. But tell me down in the comments, do you think that DJI should expand continuously into more venues and niches? Where should it go? Or should they concentrate on certain specific projects or products? Let me know what you think down in the comments. While you're down there, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. That's the easiest and fastest way to support what I'm doing here on the channel. You can also become a channel member. It's $1. And while you're down there, I've got links to all the gear that I use. Those are affiliate links, so they go to help the channel, and links to all of my photo and video session bookings. But like I said, the easiest way to support me here is just hit like and subscribe. It's free and it helps me grow here on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.